I've always wanted to make a roguelike game, but I haven't really played many, so I'm gonna go do some research. So, I've concluded that there are two pillars to roguelike games. Gambling and pills? So let's add those to the checklist. So procedural generation is probably the most important thing in any roguelike game. It makes the rooms generate randomly each time, making the game much more replayable. So to make procedural generation, I spent way too long on the script, and I don't think I want to see a line of code ever again. But anyways, here's the procedural generation in action. So after that, I added a little player to walk around the rooms, but we're still missing something very important, the mini-map. So I coded one in, and let's just say we're gonna move on. Weapons. Pretty much the staple of every game. And I decided that for my game, I was gonna have a whip and a gun. That'll be easy, right? So yeah, making the whip was pretty difficult, but at least it's working well now. But don't worry, the gun was a lot easier and it worked very well first try. So I fixed it. Wait. Okay, now finally it's working. But currently we have a whip and pew pew, but we have nothing to whip and pew pew at. So enemies are super important for every game. And since our game is set in a mine, we're gonna have bats and goblins. So the bats kinda just fly around and chase you, while the goblins throw bones. I didn't really know what else they would throw. Now we have enemies, but there's one more important thing in every roguelike. Power-ups. Now power-ups are super important in roguelikes because it allows for awesome combos and also to get more powerful. And here are some of the power-ups that I added into my game. And combining them all gives you a pretty funny combo. And now that we have power-ups, where do we get them? Every good shop has a shopkeeper, I think. But since our game is set in the mines, we can't just have a human. So I present to you, the mining mole. Now don't judge him, he has feelings too. So I brought him to life and oh, what's that? Do you need to pay? So I added these chests that randomly generate around the map that give you coins. So I can now go back to the shop and buy whatever power-ups I want. But paying is not always fun. So I added a treasure room that gives you a free power-up and also these corpses if you ever need extra coins, since they give you 10 each. But wait a second, what is that?